What's up guys, Shane here from Fugatech 3D Printing. Today we're going to check out the January Makerbox. Welcome back guys, like I said, today we're doing the January Makerbox. I want to say real quick, thank you to everyone that used the code last month. There were 3 of you, not that sound like a lot, but 3 of you used it, and guess what? I got half off this box, which is great. Please keep it up. If you don't subscribe to Makerbox, check out down below. There's a link down there for 15% off your first month. This is great fun. I like it. I think you will too. But let's get to it and see what's in this box. Alright, so we've got 4 filaments here. There is no little extras in there. Usually there's like a card or a coupon or something random. This month there's nothing. There's also nothing here on the top of the box. Which actually makes me think, did last month's have it? I'll have to go back and check, but there's no, usually they have a sticker with news or Instagram or something on there. Their contest would actually be really good to put on here. If you don't know, there's actually 2 different contests going on for Makerbox. And the first one is a design a new logo for them, and that's going on in their Facebook group. I'll put a link down below. And the second one is actually to win a 3D printer. So the contest goes up until their 1 year, which I believe is in March, their 1 year anniversary of doing the Makerbox. And you got a chance to win a 3D printer. So how fantastic is that? All that details down below. So good luck to everyone, and Makerbox, thanks for putting on these contests. Here we go. Very first one here, HD Glass by Form Futra. Now I have a little confession about this. I have a roll of HD glass that Form Futra sent me months ago. I can get nothing but bad prints out of it. So I'm going to try and let that not be my driving force behind this filament. So, but I don't have, mine was their opaque green. This is their, didn't say on here, but this is their transparent red. Blinded is what they call when it's opaque, and this is just regular transparent red. But let's check it out. HD glass, print settings, hot end 195 to 225, so it's basically PLA. Bed temperature is 0 to 60. On their website it says to print with a cold bed, but that's that. Speed 25 to 60 millimeters a second, so definitely need to slow this down in order to get this to work. Info, a modified PETG compound prints slower and thicker layers for best transparency. So that'll be cool. I didn't know. This is a modified PETG. I thought it was PLA due to the temperatures because they're so low. But hey, we can do this like a 0.3 or a 0.35 and see what happens. And they have a coupon down here for Makerbox, $5 off your purchase on the Makerbox.me website. There's one. Alright, so next we have Elixer PLA from Polyalchmey. So this is a pretty nice looking gray. Not quite gunmetal gray, a little lighter than that, like castle gray. You know when you think about a castle, you think of that gray. This is pretty much it. Print settings, 200 to 220 on the hot end. Bed temperature, 50 to 70 C. Speed, 40 to 60 millimeters a second, so a little bit slower. Info, a PLA polymer blend. Tuning flow rate and temperature will give you the best shine. Okay, so usually if you print hotter, you'll get a little more shine out of a filament. If you print lower, you'll get a little more of a matte finish. That's just my experience with different types of filaments that I've tried out over the months. I'd say years, but I've been doing it that long. Again, a coupon, $5 off your purchase on the Makerbox.me site. So this will be interesting. I might actually go ahead and check this one out and see what they say the best shine is, to do hotter or to do colder. But we'll see how that turns out. Alright, now we have a T-lyne from Tallman 3D. I've never printed with a Tallman filament before, so this will be cool. Let's see, hot end temperatures 185 to 245. Wow, 50 C, that's a big range. Bed temperature 40 to 60 C. Speed 30 to 70 millimeters a second, so a little faster. Info, try warming your part up in warm water and forming it. Great for prosthetics. So I guess this is probably something that they would be looking at for like doing casts. That's a big thing now that researchers are working on, is to be able to give kids a printed cast, a 3D printed cast, instead of wrapping it in all that junk, because it would help against bacteria. It's also for ease, for life. There's just so many higher qualities and so many life-changing things that could happen with a 3D printed cast. And they could use a film like this, it seems, that because they could just scan the arm, get a general feel for it, and then kind of form this to it to get a nice tight fit on it. So that would be pretty cool. And this one you get $7 off Makerbox.me with your purchase with their little coupon code. So that's gonna be cool. Man, that's really, really clear. I mean, that is, of the pet G's that I've printed in clear, this is like crystal clear. So this might again print into big layers and see what happens. And of course, Proto-Pasta whipping out the exotics. We have Conductive Graphite from Proto-Pasta. This is gonna be pretty cool. So let's look at the print settings. Hot and temperature 190 to 230 C, bed 0 to 60, speed 30 to 70. Info, a conductive PLA that prints with standard PLA settings, great for simple circuitry. This might be the first one we don't print in my Fugatech coin, but I have to find a circuit. I have some button batteries. I think that they should have a charge in them, and I do have some LEDs, and I do have resistors. So if I can find a circuit or a print on Thingiverse for this, we could do that. This might take a little bit of research. I might just print this in a small thing. I'm really more concerned about printability. With all the Makerbox filaments, I don't necessarily look into a lot of the other qualities, strength or things like that. I just want to know, can it print and can it print well? The strength is determined by a lot of factors. You can print a lot of PLAs the same way. They all break at the same tensile. You know, they have a tensile strength to them. They break at the same point. Tom over at his channel he's done a lot of actual real scientific testing with that, and seeing how much force it takes to actually break a print, separate the layers, and to break it straight through. So I leave that to him. But I have to decide what I'm going to do with this. It's pretty cool. I might just hold it and see if it works like that. I don't know. Again, this is going to be some research. But last thing on this, $6 off with your purchase. So thank you, Proto-Pasta. Thank you, Makerbox. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting box. Again, I'm not going to try and hold my preconceptions to the HD glass. I want to actually see how that works out. Maybe it's the spool I have. Maybe I'm just an idiot. We'll wait and find out. So let's do some time lapses and we'll be right back. Okay, so the prints are done. Before we look at them, let's take a look at the spool that I decided to use this month. I decided to use this one. So this was one that someone had made specifically for Makerbox, and they said that this one was the best because of the size of this outer ring. So the inner ring here is just a regular screw, which actually printed really, really nicely. So good on them. They did a great job on modeling it. It's screwed together the first time, and it stops almost exactly where these are in line. So that's great. And once it's fully enclosed, there's no real gaps here. There's a lot of the little holes in it in order for you to kind of hook the last bit of filament on if you need to re-spool, which is nice to have. You can always, if you ever print one you don't have that, just drill it. You know, it's an easy way to do that. But it's like this is printed in. Now my problem with this one is the size of the outer ring where the filament is supposed to sit on. So because if I was to take, we'll just take here the Elixir PLA, and this is after I'd already printed with it, it actually doesn't fit on the spool. And this is exactly the size that it was, because I have other spools that do fit these exactly, which is really nice, and I was hoping this one would do the same, and it does not. So I contacted the maker and I asked him, hey, how come your spool is so big? Do I need to scale it down? And he said, well, by him, the largest spool he has filled up this plastic bag, and you see there's about almost an inch in this bag that the filament is not filling out to. And he said, well, he took an average of the spools that he had received and average them together, and the mean is what this came out to be. The median size in the middle, for all everyone who doesn't understand that, that's what he made this outer diameter as. I still feel that it is too large because no matter one of these spools, all of mine are basically exactly the same, if not smaller. Yeah, so the Conductive Graphite and the T-lyne are the smallest. The HD Glass and the Elixir are about the same. So 4 spools, obviously all 4 different, but they did not fit this. So I did rewind the HD Glass onto it, and that was okay, but I ended up going to another spool, which I'm going to reveal next month, and that worked out much better. It's a little difficult to use just to get the final. It's another one of the 3.1s. I need to find a decent 4.1 because I don't like how it makes the filament triangular shaped. I like it to be nice and round, personal preference. But anyways, if you guys want to give this a try, I'll put the link down in the description below. As always, props out to the guys that make these. I give you all the praise in the world because I cannot design for squat. So thank you guys for doing that, and give it a try yourself. Please do. Okay, so the very first one we have here is Elixir PLA by Polyalchmey. This is a nice, shiny gray, or silver we'll call it. And it does have quite the nice shine. I mean, look at that. That's pretty nice. And it says here that if you turn up your flow rate and your temperature, you'll get a really good shine. You just have to find a good balance. I think I found a good balance. So looking at the top layers came out pretty well. A little bit of gaps here, but overall really nice. Not big issues. The sidewalls, very butter smooth. Super nice sidewalls. Nice and shiny as well there. The bottom, I seem to be a little bit off my layer height because this right here, part of that actually came off with the print, or was still on the bed when I pulled it up. So I had a little bit later adhesion issue, partly from me being a little bit too far away. And you can see here over the bridgings over the support did not go so well. But other than that, it is really nice and shiny. I would love to get some more of this and print out some metal-looking objects, like a bender head. I'm not a huge Futurama fan, but this in bender would be cool, very cool. So this came out pretty well. Next up here is the HD Glass by Form Futra. This is a transparent red, and this HD Glass is kind of like a PLA, and it's kind of getting close to like a PETG type deal. You can use a heated bed. You don't have to use a heated bed. Well, actually, it does say this is a modified PETG compound. But anyways, I did print this much slower in order to get a decent print out of it. It came out very smooth. The bottom layers were great. I was much closer this time. This is the second print, so I got closer for this one. It did have the overhang issues here over support, so not the most beautifulness there. A little bit of paper towel because I had to clean off the glue that was still left on the bottom of this. But I mean, it looks like a piece of candy. I don't mind it at all. I do have questions about the actual strength of it because when I squeeze it, it flexes quite a bit and you can hear it creaking a little bit. The layers creaking each other, or the infill creaking. So I don't know how strong of a filament this would be unless I put it to some serious testing, but I don't have too much of it. And I'm more worried about the actual printability. And did it print well? Yes. Can you get good prints out of it? Absolutely. This would look really cool to print out a piece of candy actually, or some vases in this red. It's very nice and red. I like it. Okay, up next here we have T-lyne from Tallman 3D, and this is a type of nylon. And as you can see, it looks like a spider blew up, and it's super duper stringy. I'm guessing my retraction was off a little bit. I'm not very familiar printing with nylon. I think this is my second nylon that I've ever printed with, so retraction's off by a little bit, but top layers were good. Bottom layers were really good. You can see the infill in there. And there was a little bit, there's stringing between the cog, outer cogs of it. I don't know what those are called. But this stuff comes off fairly easily. I could take a knife to finish cleaning it off as well, but that's okay. It's nice and smooth. But you will see down here, see the deformity there? It's supposed to be round. So look how much more rounder the HD glass from Form Futra is, and look at the Tallman. It did not hang on that overhang very well at all. It should be nice and round, and it's not in the slightest. Let's look at this one too here just for comparison. This one's even better. This is nice and round, but you can tell, you can see how, look at the slant in that right here. Look at that slant, that's big. So you can clearly tell it had some issues printing this. It's not really for printing out things like this. I mean, nylons are for printing much more functional items, to say. So, but I need to work on retraction and probably temperature. It said 185 to 245. I did print this at 245, and I also, you'll notice, this was printed on my Monoprice Select Mini because I could not get this to work in the Titan on my Fugatech FT5, which is a bummer because I really wanted, I like printing with that printer. But also, so if you look here at the paper, it says 30 to 70 millimeters per second. Well, if you go on to Tallman 3D's website and you look, they say no faster than 20 millimeters a second. So there's the big issue right there. I was trying at 50, and I was getting almost like when you try to print TPU too fast, or any flexible filament I should say, where it binds up in the extruder gear, and that's exactly what it did. It bound up, and I had to cancel 5-6 prints because of that. And eventually I got on Facebook, started talking to people in the 3D printing group and the Makerbox group, and they finally said, hey, slow it down much more, and they got it to work on their Monoprice Select Mini. I did the exact same thing, and here we are with a successful-ish print. It is strong, it gives just enough, but there is no sound of any layers moving or anything like that. It's a very, very strong part, which is really nice to see. So this is interesting, but I would need to definitely have more of it in order to dial it in properly. All right, and finally here we have Conductive Graphite from Proto-Pasta. I have to say, it is so hard to print with Proto-Pasta filament because it prints like a dream. I mean, first layers go down just absolutely beautifully. It did fairly well on the overhangs over the top of the support structures. It did really well there, actually. Quite surprising for a PLA based filament. The sides, incredibly smooth. The top, incredibly smooth. It did, I mean, it didn't have an issue, but it's just the way that prints the top layer. You can see the layers a little bit more up there. But I mean, all even down through here, you can't even see some of the layer lines right here, just for how it came out. It came out really, really nice. And I was going to do some type of circuit or something, but of course I don't have the proper LEDs or resistors or anything actually needed to do it, so I could not. So I went on Thingiverse, saw what else could I print, and I got this. And this happens to be a little captive stylus that you can have, which is really nice. It's good size. It's a little bit longer. I have big hands. But it has a recess here for a tip. And they give you a link in the website where to go and get this rubber material, and you can cut it and just shove it in there. I do have this stylus here, just a super cheap one I bought when I was in China. And it works out actually really well. This is the last one of the 3 that I have. The other ones I have lost or either broke them. I took the tip out of this to try and fit into here, and it's too big. Just here for comparison, you can kind of see the difference there. But I did actually pull this out, turn it over, and stick it into here. And I actually would have to fold it over in order to get it to fit, and that just is no bueno. That obviously is not going to work. So I might look into ordering some of the stuff for this. I forget the name of it, but it'll be in the description below, in the description. And I mean, this is so smooth. It prints just like that, you know, and it goes through. A little bit of support on the bottom here, which you can't really see. You can see a little bit of the deformation, but not too much. Beautiful first layer. And I mean, it's literally, it's like every layer, every solid infill looks just amazing with Proto-Pasta filament. These guys really know how to make filament. I just wish it was a hell of a lot cheaper. So that's all the prints. So there's some pretty good filaments this month, so I thank Makerbox for making this box. It was very educational for me to learn how to print with different filaments, and that's the biggest thing to me. A lot of people complain, oh, it's not enough filament to do anything with, and I am doing this purely for educational purposes. I am never going to buy 90% of these filaments, ever. But the fact that I can somewhat troubleshoot them with the amount that they give you, and I can understand a little bit more about the filament. That's priceless education. I mean, you can't put a value on learning more about your passion, and my passion is 3D printing. That's why I do the YouTube. That's why I spend money on Makerbox, to learn for myself, and hopefully through me doing these videos I can help you, inspire you, educate you, whatever it is that I do for you, make you think I'm an idiot. Anyways, that's the whole reason for doing this. That all being said, I want to say thank you to the 3 of you that happened to use my code last month, because I got 50% off of this box. That was amazing. So thank you guys for doing that. Please keep it up. Again, I don't get any money for it, but I spend my own money for this every month. And if I can get somewhat of a discount because you guys are using the coupon code, fantastic. If you're not familiar with the coupon code, down below in the description, there is a coupon code for Makerbox. It's 15% off your first month's subscription. And that, for 3, I get 50% off. For 5 subscriptions, I get the box for free. And for so many after that, I actually get a credit into the Makerbox store, and I could buy a roll of any of these filaments, you know, like Elixir PLA. Last month I bought the Proto-Pasta glitter filament, which was amazing filament, and I just had to jump on it for $25, I think it was $30 shipped, which is, you know, $10 or $15 cheaper than what you would get on their website, which is a great deal. So anyways, thank you guys for doing that. If anyone else wants to sign up, please do so below. You really help me out by doing that. So that's going to be it, guys, for the January Makerbox. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. So if you liked this video, please give it a like. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Let me know why down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to support the channel, lots of new ways to do that, and I have this screen here to show you all of that, well, some of that. So down here, there's going to be a link to subscribe. Please subscribe. All the subscriptions really do help me out. There's a vast amount of you that are watching these videos that are not subscribed. It's one click of a button. It really helps me out, so please do that. Right over here is Patreon, and I've redone my Patreon campaign, so please go and check that out. Donate me $1 more a month. I greatly appreciate it. I have donations set on a monthly basis because I don't know how many videos I put out, and I don't think I get enough views to justify money per video. So anything you want to send me per month, thank you. My current Patreons and all you new guys that are helping me out there, thank you so much. It really is coming through, so thank you for your support. Down below, there's plenty of affiliate links. You can use all of those. There's Amazon, MakerGeeks, Box, there is an AliExpress, there's an eBay there now. So all of those, update your bookmarks, use those. That is a huge input of revenue that I can put into the channel. Eventually that will go to pay for things like the Makerbox. It just doesn't yet, but one day it might. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, happy printing.